I wonder what they're serving on these planes.
The meal on this airplane is really small.
I can't remember the last time I had a really good meal on a plane though.
Flying used to be really romantic. Like what happened to airplane food?
Last time I flew, I had no meal at all.
Really? If this was my own airline here, I would make sure that I would have a really good meal. Maybe we should make our own airplane food, you know, our own trays.
That's a good idea.
Can we make airplane food?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. I'm just gonna continue this for a little while. It's quite rare these days to go on an airplane and actually enjoy the food that you eat. So in anticipation of that, we've decided to make our own meals, make our own trays. We've come here to get inspired and come up with some ideas.
This place is great. When you see them in a museum like this, it kind of brings down the scale into something that you feel like you could almost do yourself.
I mean, it speaks to how light these planes have to be. Like minimal use of material, maximal strengths.
You know, when you take a commercial flight, it's sort of this abstract thing where you go into this tube. It's like riding an elevator, right? You don't see the floors moving by.
And then sitting down in a tube, which is an airplane, and then being fed food that kind of comes out of a tube.
And watching a movie that comes out of a tube. A total vacuum.
And the experience of airplanes used to be so real. And
Right.
I think what we're being offered now in airplanes is like no heartbreak, no romance. We can reincorporate a little bit of experience back into our flying through our meal.
Aluminum.
Yeah, check this out. Yeah. Like, it's made with like the least amount of material possible. Totally, it's doable, man.
Like so that the scene, like the wind isn't coming this way, it's coming this way.
But it's so light, right?
Yeah.
It's just like economy material, economy in the design. Like all the thought has gone into here, maybe we should put as much thought into
the trays.
Our trays.
Like the meal, it has these parameters, like it needs to heat up a certain way, it needs to be this compact.
I think about being on an airplane, you want to be really comfortable. So you want to have food that makes you feel at home.
Or out somewhere special.
But exactly where you want to be.
Totally. Yeah.
We should probably sit down and figure out the designs.
My plan was to have bowls out of like natural material. So I was thinking about using banana leaves. We'd apply weight to create the shape of the banana leaf so that the banana leaf would take the form of the two bowls.
And then how are you going to heat it up?
Get the flight attendant to bring me hot water. And then I was going to pour that over the rice. My rice will already be cooked, wrapped in a banana leaf, which I'll unwrap into my bowl so that my bowl doesn't start like rehydrate.
That's great. All right, so I was thinking for mine, I would encase my meal in a briefcase. So you open it up, wood finish, sinking in dishes, and then a little cup holder here. But then here, a separate piece that when you open the briefcase, and there'd be 3 holes here, and there'd be a soup in this one, like some sort of test tube, and then dessert here. I was thinking wild mushroom barley soup. On the main dish here, some seared tuna, and then for dessert, some kind of chocolate pudding.
I've been really trying to wrap my head around the menu, and I've been thinking about wanting to eat it hot. The only thing that I can think of is to make some kind of a radiator that by filling up with the hot water would transfer its heat to the food. Bringing something pretty commonplace on the plane, like a hot water bottle. And then out of the hot water bottle, it's like a heating coil.
It's like radiant floor heating.
It's like radiant floor heating. And for the meal, I was thinking a duck breast, some cold fennel salad, maybe a little lemon tort for the end. We've expressed an interest in coffee. We need to make something more like an espresso.
Yeah.
And the only way to get an espresso is to get like 10 atmospheres of pressure on a hot water column.
I wonder if we could use the external pressure difference, like out here. It would just be like, you just hook it up here, right? So you hook up your machine and there's like exterior.
Whoa.
Exactly, it would be like that. Coffee's ready to be shot, right?
Sweet.
Should we also talk to somebody who's got more experience? Do you guys know anybody?
Yeah, we could go see Stephanie.
She's a flight attendant?
Yeah, she's staying in your hotel room, the one that you and Celeste designed.
But then also go to the metal supermarket afterwards to pick up some supplies.
Totally.
We've decided to make airplane food. We've got to come up with 3 different recipes. We've also got to come up with 3 different designs for trays. Why do you think that airplane food has sort of gone downhill? Because when I was a kid, I was usually pretty excited about the kind of food I was going to get on the plane.
Like the food is still really good if you travel in executive class. You'll be served an appetizer with duck pate and shrimps. But if you travel in economy, then you have to buy your sandwich.
Yeah.
Would it be strange for you if everyone brought their own food?
No.
No?
No. Because food is such a personal thing, you know. People have different diets.
But do you think there are foods that they won't let us bring on the plane?
No.
Nobu and Micah's design was to involve hot water.
By hot water, you could get easily.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
That's good to know.
We probably should get out of your hair, so thank
Actually-
you so much for taking the time.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah,
Good
sure.
luck.
Yeah,
huh?
thanks, Stephanie.
How you doing?
Good.
Hey.
How you doing?
What type of materials? Steel?
Aluminum.
We got all kinds of different thicknesses here.
I just need like some square, like tube.
Square tubing. That's a 3/4 inch. That's 1 inch.
And then do you have channel that would fit a 3/4?
Yeah, it's probably best if I grab some offcuts back there for you.
That would be great.
Do we have everything we need for the espresso maker?
Oh, yeah. Which will like apply the pressure.
So all we need to do is wedge the water part against the coffee part, makes a seal, and then when you push down, the water goes through instead of coming out the sides. That's the idea. Do you have any idea how big you want your
box?
Yeah, 5x4.
5x4?
Big piece of fish.
Yeah.
What we're trying to do is bring back the golden age of flying, to bring some design and some style back to the art of going on a trip. So we have decided to conceive our own menus, build our own trays, and have our own meals. It could go down in flames, or it could be a smooth ride. We've got an incredible amount of work to do if we want to see our airplane food come to the table on our individually designed trays that we're going to be starting working on in a few seconds. Chris is going to get all hippie on us with some banana leaves. I'm going to go junior executive class or pseudo executive class. And Micah, have you got any ideas?
No.
Well, I picked this up and check it out. The last person who owned it. Like had a good time, I think. and
It's amazing too, it's still cold. A thermal briefcase.
yeah, so I know it'll keep heat in. So I was gonna rip this stuff out.
That's the test tube holder.
It'll be down,
Right.
and then it'll just come up. This is going to be covering it, basically. Sunk into it will be the aluminum with the coil underneath, an intake right here for the hot water. I think maybe a red rose right here.
Red rose,
Right?
yeah. You can have those gloves that have the holes that are the knuckles too. Those ones. But I guess the thing I gotta build is like a press for the banana leaf. I would just actually bolt this together and stick it in the oven. And then I have to experiment with different adhesion layers in between the leaves.
What's
you know?
the adhesive gonna be?
Maybe I'll mix up some sticky rice and some sugar. You know, the first few layers will probably like rehydrate and peel off, but then hopefully the bottom layers will last long enough. I would cut this in half. Like my curry paste will be in there.
Right.
And then I'll get the hot water added to it, and then I'll rehydrate the coconut cream and the curry paste, and then I'll be able to pour that on my rice.
I think the heating element is gonna be relatively easy to do. I'm gonna drill 2 holes in the lid, this copper tubing through one of the holes. So 2 lines coming out, making a loop. And that loop, maybe we can bend it up into some kind of a burner shape.
What about your tray?
I don't know if I'm gonna do a tray. I'm really thinking about making like a camping stove.
Okay, so you've got the intake and you got the outtake.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Okay.
glue those in there.
That's right,
right?
epoxy into the lid.
Epoxy.
And then we put these little couplers on. Go talk to the stewardess.
Excuse me, could I have some water from my really funky looking water bottle? Which is not going to hurt you.
Look at that.
You guys ever made wild mushroom barley soup before? But the thing is, I have to chop everything really, really fine because I want them to dehydrate.
Why are you dehydrating the
soup? It's about portability, and it's also about making sure that the soup is really, really hot. Dipping a cheesecloth inside the soup and then dehydrating it. I figured we could just cut pieces of the cheesecloth out, stuff it into the test tube, and then pour hot water into it, and then mix it up, and then take the cheesecloth out, and then you've got mushroom barley soup.
Like a tea bag.
Exactly like a tea bag. Okay, so salt's in here, barley's in here. Then after a little while, I'm gonna put in some of the mushroom juice from the wild mushrooms, pour it in, throw the onion, the parsnips, the carrots in, and I might add some potatoes in there, and then we'll have some soup.
Nice.
Sweet. Basically, the motivation is to have a coffee that's better than what you get on an airplane. By adding a little bit of pressure, you can get a little bit of that crema that you get from an espresso. And the plunger will have like the gasket that pushes the water down.
We need a disc to hold the coffee down.
Right.
We also need a disc for plunging the water through.
Right.
Let's just raise it off. Like, let's make a stand
make little
for it.
feet?
Yeah, do that.
So we need like rocket feet.
And that lip's got to be strong enough to hold all the pressure from the plunger.
Yeah, like 150 pounds.
So, okay, so that
Hopefully, like someone's body weight.
Right, yeah, we're dealing with mass,
I think you
not
should
weight.
just shake this a couple times and I think it'll just come to you.
So we have the guide
Yeah.
and the threaded rod, and this is the double shot,
That's the double shot.
right? And then this is the single shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll fit over the cup of coffee.
That works. That's like a rocket.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's look at them, it's suspect.
Of all the things that we're bringing on the plane,
Yeah.
then all right, I understand. Okay, it's a briefcase, it's got food in it, or it's banana leaves. Okay, that's cool. You got curry in your coconut. Like that's all right with me.
This is gonna look like a pipe bomb.
Yeah.
But
It already does.
It really does.
whoa, man! I like how it's gonna look good before you even get to the dishes.
Well, I know, that's the inspiration.
It's like the restaurant's open. There's no kitchen.
There's no food.
But there's style.
Ah, sweet.
This design might arouse the most suspicion out of all of them. Yeah, green and
Compressed,
dry.
green bowl.
Yeah. I like the holes too. It's like Morse code for eat me.
Oh, right.
So the soup is done. Do you guys want to try a tiny bit of it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. It's all right.
Can I eat this right now?
But no, we gotta dehydrate it. And I'm just gonna pour it in, and hopefully it'll dehydrate onto the cheesecloth. Just move that around. Oh, sorry. Just let it sit. Awesome. All right. Brooklyn's totally freaking out over there.
Bubs is, well, she just had a cup of coffee.
We're ready to test out the coffee maker. I know you're
Are
really...
you sure this is the moment? What are you worried about?
It's been a real challenge to get perfect circles.
I'm starting to realize that everything that we do is circles and squares, and they're never gonna get any easier. If you jam it hard enough, then it'll all go to the center.
That's what we're hoping. We're gonna hit it with the mallet. Let's load it up, let's load it up. All right, we're ready for the hot water? Okay, we're ready?
Pound away.
A little bit stronger. It smells like gasket.
All right, total failure.
Maybe we should have dehydrated our coffee instead of trying to make our giant rocket coffee machine.
We've been working on the trays and our recipes for what we're gonna eat for our main courses, but Micah and Chris have been working really hard on this espresso maker.
We can see light through the cracks of what's supposed to be
Airtight.
airtight, yeah.
Like this thing would never fly.
No.
This is one of my concerns. I'm not gonna say anything more than that.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, at this point, the flight attendant's asking you to put that thing away. You know what I mean?
So we take all these rivets out,
Yep.
cut a little groove in it, and then we put an O-ring on it, and then we slide it back into the fuselage.
We need to put a handle on because this
Yeah,
really,
I think
this
a
really
handle.
sketched Nobu out.
You need to get a handle on it that won't freak everybody out.
Yeah, and then we'll be pulling coffee.
Excellent. Good luck.
All right.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for your help, Nobu.
Yeah, I like how you just, you're like, that's it, that's too sketchy.
I want
No,
this to work, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
but you're keeping it in perspective.
Yeah.
It's crispy.
look at that, soup pizza.
They might say, you're not allowed to bring vomit on an airplane, sir. I'm sorry.
Look at what a perfect disc it is. It's great.
Pretty awesome.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut around where it's most saturated with soup. How's it going, Martins?
Making a curry paste to simmer the chicken in. I'm just cutting up some lemongrass right now. Some onions, garlic, fresh cilantro.
Sounds wicked.
And then there's
sounds
also coconut milk too, like the inside of the coconut
Oh, so tasty.
that the chicken's marinating in right now.
It's amazing.
Pretty intense, eh?
It's really intense.
It's like,
I'm just gonna heat up the sugar to the thread stage, and it's gonna infuse with lemon rind, zest, and vanilla. And this is gonna be reduced and become like a a glaze on top of the tart.
What kind of crust are you gonna do?
It's a pâte sablée, which is just butter, flour, egg, vanilla.
What do you think that crust would be good with coconut cream pie? Because that sounds actually pretty good.
Should I just double the recipe?
That sounds awesome.
Hey, Martins.
Uh-huh.
It's cool that I can scrape out some of this coconut.
I know, you're really into my coconuts.
Yeah, I love your coconuts.
Yeah, nice figs too, Nobu.
I'm just making this chocolate pudding. Yeah, pink peppercorn, fig seeds, coconut, mint, some coconut water.
Yeah.
And I put some silken tofu in there. I'm just gonna blend it up and then put it in the fridge.
Look at that, it's like suspended. It's hovering.
It's not really going.
You've created like an anti-gravity chamber.
Yeah, you're levitating the chocolate.
I'm starting to work on the duck. Nobu's outside sparking up the barbecue. I'm just gonna make like a cherry reduction that'll kind of kick into like almost a béarnaise sauce.
Got the tuna done.
How'd it
Nice,
go?
but it's falling apart already.
I know, it's totally slicing itself. But if you want to get your duck on.
Sweet.
I'm steaming some beans for some bean and beet salad.
That's with toasted coconut and then just mangoes and chilies and red pepper.
Damn. I'm gonna make a fennel salad and I'm gonna use some orange juice as a dressing.
Brooklyn wants to go on the flight too.
I know. She likes asparagus and she likes duck. Lower story, upper story veggies.
Yeah. All right, it's time for me to try this chocolate tofu thing.
It's got good flow.
Yeah, look at that. It's a fine specimen. Do you want some?
It's good.
Wow.
The lemon tart is finished.
Whoa. Okay, so after I make the meringue for the tarts, the shaved coconut is gonna go on top of the meringue.
So you open this guy up.
Whoa, look at that. Dude, it looks like you're smuggling some serious stuff there.
I am.
That's really sweet.
The only problem is I can't close it. So it's like, oh, work is so busy, man. Like I got just files busting out of my case.
Check this out.
Man, if someone set that up beside me, I'd pull the emergency exit door.
I just called the travel agent and she booked us on a flight, but she wouldn't tell us where.
Sweet. I like our travel agents.
We're ready to go. We don't know where we're going, but we know we're gonna eat really well. Oh, it seems like hours since we've been on this plane. I don't even know how much longer the flight is. I think we're over Greenland.
I think we're going over Timbuktu.
Thank you for flying with us today, gentlemen. The captain would like to present you with this hat.
Would you mind filling up this hot water bottle for me, please?
Not at all.
Thanks.
That was smooth. All right, time to set it up. Really cramped in here.
One of us can squeeze here.
All right.
Okay, so this valve is shut off.
Okay.
Which is gonna force water. Okay, it's water. The water's traveling. I just saw it.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's going through the whole system.
My tuna is
warming up.
warming up.
Ooh, this smells good.
Wild mushroom and barley soup. This is great.
I got my curry paste I'm gonna mix up.
Yeah. Do you want me to take that from you?
That's nice.
Nice presentation too.
So we can have soup all the way to Helsinki.
Bowl is totally holding up.
Really? The
Check
9
it out.
layers of banana leaf? I wonder if he's...
Notice you guys rang. Is there anything I can do for you?
Yes, I'd like some hot water, please.
More hot water?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Right. There you go. The height is perfect. This is good. I was worried about that.
Nice salad with you guys.
Rest.
Bon appetit. The basmati rice with chicken soaked in lime leaves and lemongrass. And then this is the mango salad.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for the duck. It has that smoky flavor from back on Earth.
It's all come together
Awesome.
beautifully. It just keeps coming. We're gonna be eating for the next 3 hours.
Good thing it's a long flight.
Oh, man. Oh, I'm so full.
Yeah, you can have some room.
Coconut cream pie.
Here's an almond lemon tart.
Oh, my. This is so good. So this is the semi-sweet chocolate pudding.
It's really complex, but like the fig is just such a nice undertone.
You guys should probably get that coffee going.
I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna load it up. Martin, do you want one hit or two?
I just want a half of a one hit.
Could I interest you guys in another cup of hot water?
Thank you, yes. The O-rings are taking hold and they're gonna work.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
really well.
Totally. Just gotta go quick. Crema, man. Look at that.
Oh, nice.
Crema.
Can't believe it.
Good job. Nice, thank you.
Cheers. It's all
Cheers.
yours.
How's the cafe?
It's good.
It's really
It
good.
doesn't taste too much like aluminum.
I figure we've made our own trays. So I think the next logical step is that we make our own airplane.
Yeah, I wonder
What it would taste like.
Go for it.
Meringue away.
Yeah.
It's a slow fade.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, get us
Get
Good control. Good control.
Pretty sweet.
Hey, wait a second.
Oh, hard.
I ran out of sugar.
It's salvageable.
Yeah.
Mmm.
It's all right.
Yeah. Tasty blend.